I see continued progress. Wilkins got a high care factor. He wants to be great. And, for him, the more comfortable he is with the scheme, the techniques we're teaching, and then for him to be able to turn it loose and play physical and fast, that's going to be the key for him. And we're seeing slow strides with that.
What have you seen from Parker Brailsford this fall?
Parker's he's really an incredible athlete, and it's amazing. You look at him, he doesn't look like he's a big old guy, but he's probably top 5 strength in our weight room in a lot of categories, and he plays with a lot of power for his size. He has a great football IQ. Really like what he brings to the table.
There's been a pretty decent bit of hype around the interior part of this offensive line. Are you buying into how good can that group be on the interior?
Be careful, right? Too many pats on the back and we'll have a problem, right? I know there's been some rat poison talk around this place before, but that's exactly right. We haven't done anything yet. And so, yes, you love having those guys with that experience, obviously, as a coach, and you believe it should be dominant, but we got to continue to work and show that. So we have the potential to be great, but we still got to show it.
One guy on the outside I wanted to ask you about, Elijah Pritchett. What kind of traits does he bring to the table, and is there some versatility there in terms of left or right for him?
Yeah, absolutely. He can play both sides, and that's critical for us. And I'll tell you, that's a kid that's made huge strides since the first day I was here. He's a big, strong kid. He's got good feet. He's athletic. He can do everything that you want a tackle to do. For him, it's a matter of him getting comfortable in the scheme, really trusting what he knows and does, and playing at a high level on a consistent basis. And he has the potential to do that.
Gino seems like a guy who maybe could play a couple different spots in the interior. How big of a tool is that for you, knowing that, hey, I've got some depth but also some versatile depth there?
That was critical, when he was able to come over here and knowing that here's a guy that's snapped for a couple of years, that's played both guard spots in the Big Ten. So he's had 2 years of experience in the Big Ten. He can play all 3 spots, and that gives you competition and it gives you depth. And that was a critical, especially when we lost Brockermeyer. So that was huge to get him in here and really push the competition and know that we had somebody we can rely on.
When you look at timeline like of fall camp and determining, because you do have people in different spots moving around, is there a point in your mind where you go, I want to at least have an idea what my 5 looks like, and I'm practicing with them continually?
Yeah, that's always, as a coach, you're trying to cross-train guys, so you're always in the best position possible, where if this right tackle goes down and you're like, the backup left tackle is better than the backup right tackle, but he's never done it before, that's putting yourself in a bad spot. So we have to rotate these guys around. I really like to get into that first scrimmage and really just see who's hopefully somebody's separating themselves after that first scrimmage, and we'll start to settle in a little bit more. But my hopes is we're going to have competition, especially at that tackle position, at all positions, into the season. Yeah. I'd have no problem if I had to play 3 tackles going in early in the season to see who can be the guy to get it done.
Coach, Caden Proctor transferred, came back, started last year, struggled as a freshman. You expect that out of young offensive lineman. What's been his progress? I know he looks good, in his shorts and T-shirts, but what are you expecting out of him, and what's the process there?
Yeah, and I think the thing fair to him is when you watch the tape from last year, there were some rough spots early in the season. And I'll tell you, a lesser kid probably would have caved in and said, I need out. But, man, he really improved throughout the year, so that was great. Missing spring ball isn't optimal for a young guy, but he really worked hard this summer, and I'm seeing good things from him. He's open to coaching. He's slimmed his body down a little bit more. So, I expect him to take off from where he left off and I really – compete for that spot and be a dominant player that he's capable of.
Thank you.
Yep, you